Hi, I'm Jake, and today I'll be recapping our very first Black Rabbit Channel Crew outing to an out-of-state tournament up in Reno, Nevada, and show you the journey as well as briefly share with you how we all did with our own armies. If you're new to the channel, what we do here is cover competitive 40K strategy content as well as produce fun and informative battle reports for everyone to enjoy. If this kind of content interests you and you haven't done so yet, we'd love for you to stay up to date by staying subscribed, which also greatly helps the growth of our channel. And if you're interested, of course, we have several other ways you can interact with us more directly as well, as ways to support the channel even further, such as picking up your own set of Black Rabbit Gaming dice or using any of our discount affiliate links, which cost you absolutely nothing when you use them. All of that info is always posted in the video's description below. So what's really awesome is I realized this weekend that we recently just barely passed the 1-year mark of when I had the wild idea to start this channel in the first place. What's even wilder are the homies who joined the channel over the course of time to become the BRG crew we now know. And they continue to dedicate their personal time and energy into Black Rabbit Gaming, which is why I wanted to kind of mention this in this particular video, since it's the first time we traveled out of the state to compete at an event together. Unfortunately, Mike, the engineer, couldn't make it, but hopefully he'll be there for the next one. That being said, it is really cool to see everyone seeming to enjoy the content just as much as we've enjoyed putting it out there. So thank you all to who interact with our videos, comment, and most importantly, of course, stay subscribed to see what we're putting out next, as that's what keeps our drive going. I know, sometimes we go way longer than we should between putting out videos, but at the end of the day, we have jobs, families, and we're doing this all for free, only being fueled by YouTube views and, well, the love of the game. On to Rage! Rage Tournament, Reno, Nevada. If you've been following the channel for any amount of time, it'll be no surprise here that I had no idea what army I was going to compete with for this 55-person event, which ended up being 45 after attrition. Since I've only actually played 2 games of 40K in the last 2 months, prior to this event, of course, because life, my conditions were if I could get 3 reps in with the Harlequins. I really wanted to run them since I felt they were really balanced quite well after the last nerf, update, whatever you want to call it. Dude, that shit was just crazy when they released the book, and I have no idea who thought that was okay. However, that involved a lot of time to not only attempt practice games, but also to get my 2018 clown models up to speed with the new codex, since so much had actually changed. I managed to pull the hobbying off with some paintwork that I'm really not proud of entirely, but nonetheless, they were tabletop ready. But yeah, it came down to me deciding between running my Harlequins, Custodes, Grey Knights, or my first True Love Death Guard, which I was comfortable, albeit unpracticed with all of the above options. Luckily for me, we had a local RTT at War Room Games here in Vegas, so that was my chance at getting the 3 reps in that I needed with whichever army I decided at last minute. But I just decided to YOLO with the Dark Harlequins, even though I only intended on playing light because I thought they were just a little bit easier to pick up. I quickly theory crafted my list, which stressed me the hell out, but managed to get 3rd place at the RTT, which told me that I was on the right track, but I needed to submit my list to the event that night at midnight. So it's basically I had 3 hours in between. So I made those changes, submitted my list, and ended up being able to get a game in with Mike the night before, was it 2 nights before, we flew out to Reno. So that made me feel a whole lot better. As for the rest of the channel team, Director Leo decided on Chaos Knights, since he's our resident badass and got 10th place or something at the Atlantic City Open after like never having practiced with them or something like that. Josh went with Hail of Doom Eldar. Tracksuit Tim decided on going Leviathan Nids for a final send-off before the update. And our newest official Black Rabbit, Riley, which you'll be seeing more of soon, ran Valorous Heart Sisters to see how they would fare with the addition of Armor of Contempt. Since the event itself took place the weekend of the Nephilim book release, we were still competing with the Nachman rules, just so everybody's aware. So off we went. Got it done. Finished with the practice game. Now it's time to pack up, and it fits very perfectly. So this is the same one that I have been traveling with, the Battle Foam Magnorack 432 TSA size. So yeah, it's gonna count as one of my carry-ons, and then I'm going to, personal item. This is my personal item. So that's a key point. This is a personal item, and what I'm doing is bringing my backpack and putting it into my duffel bag, and that's gonna be my carry-on. So look, everything fits so perfectly. There you are, yeah. Bringing the sisters for our sister, Riley. Just picked up Josh because he needed a ride. We've got the whole fam in the car. They're just taking me to the airport. Yeah, it's quote taking me, yet I'm driving, but that's okay. So we're getting ready. We're gonna meet up with the rest of the team because we're slightly early to the airport, and we'll go from there. Hi.
Bad shot since we're
What happened?
impatient.
Oh, it's all good. You look
This
so
terminal
mad.
fucking sucks.
Yeah,
What happened to
bad.
your cheesecake? Who
Just-
smashed your
It took
cheesesteak?
30
Oh, it took
minutes
forever.
to get
Aw.
2 cheesesteaks.
Yeah, so
Good thing we're early.
yeah,
Haha.
you're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, they knocked my fucking, so the x-ray machine went down. So they had to switch us over while they were in there. Cause like the first dude in there was like, can I lay this down? I'm like, no, don't lay it down. It's TSA certified, I promise. Like, just go for it, right? Machine breaks down, so he has to transfer it over to the other side. And like, we were just waiting forever. And so somebody over on the other side just fucking knocked the whole thing down. So I lost a flight stand and probably like 2 models.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Good times. Well, we're alive. Where's Timotei?
He went
back to the main
Shake Shack to get some food.
Oh, okay. All right, we
That's
made
what
it.
I would suggest if you guys are hungry.
We made it. One place.
I don't know where to sit.
Let's find some coffee.
Go into rage with rage.
Yeah, no, for real.
Just checked into the house, which is awesome, but now we're going over who broke the most models during travel. Riley came out okay. Leo kind of.
A few things broke.
Yeah, some gun barrels and stuff. Very creative. Tim, not bad, right? Nice clean brakes at least. And then of course, just, I was fine up until the angry Uber driver who just manhandled my case. So we gotta go hunt down for some glue.
Glue and food.
Food.
Not together though.
Food.
Can't be eating glue.
Not
If
with
you
that
do,
attitude.
just go back to elementary school. It's eating paste.
I mean, you're playing night, so that's what you're at, right?
One brain cell per model. That's all you need.
Okay.
Quote. What
It's
were,
gonna be
you
a good day.
what were you playing again, Tim?
Huh?
What were you playing again, Tim?
Playing or playing?
What army are you playing?
I haven't woken up yet. I'm playing Tyranids,
Yeah.
the hentai monsters.
So we've got 6 NIDs?
Yes.
6 NIDs at this event. We've got 4 Knights players, including Leo. We've got four Harlequins players, including myself. And then we've got 2 Sisters player, including the Creeper. Hang on, look at me. No, I can't do it.
There are 3 of us.
3 Sisters players. So it should be pretty interesting. We're bound to run into one another. 45 people as of yesterday at the total event. I don't know. I think we're gonna do okay.
I'm a win.
Hey,
Yeah. Uber's here.
Bye.
I myself hadn't been to Reno since high school, which was like 20 years ago. But what was interesting about this Rage tournament was how competitive of a player showing it had. Tracksuit Tim won the event last year with his sister's army, which was really amazing, so he was going to defend his title. And this year, the player roster included like 10 Xenos Petting Zoo members, members from Smite Club, and of course quite a few of Nevada's best of the best, making it a fairly stacked competition for only a 45-person tournament. The venue itself was pretty sweet, which took place at the Nugget Casino and Resort, and being part of the RageCon event itself made it also really interesting. We would see Spider-Mans walking around, we would see a ton of other cosplay. It was really cool. Also, reasonable pricing all around always makes for a good travel event, and everything was, well, just really convenient and thought out from what I experienced from my perspective. All right, so how did my Harleys do? Well, considering I had next to no idea how my performance would be using Dark Harlequins, since I also switched to that last minute like I was saying, I'll admit that I even surprised myself. My day one game started with a local Reno player running Salamanders, which had a bunch of scary flamers and meltas running around, which caused me to play cautiously, not overextending too early, since Armor of Contempt really boosts Marines' durability. Strategy paid off, which gave me a 94-38 victory. Once the big threats are gone, unfortunately, Harleys just shred through Marines regardless of the Codex buffs that they consecutively get, but at the end of the day, it is still a very old codex. My second game just absolutely gave me a headache, and as it did my opponent. Why? Because it was a mirror match into another friend who came up from Vegas as well, but it was a dark versus light Harlequins matchup, and I'm fairly certain there was one point where you could actually see the smoke coming out of my ears. Pretty much a back and forth game throughout every single turn, but Dark definitely seems to trade better in that mirror matchup. It was such a tough game where I ended up running out my clock, which has only happened once for me prior to this in my 9th edition career, but I squeaked out a 42 point win. This wasn't really great though, because we were only at game 2, and scoring that low could really hurt my chances at placements at the end of the event and such. I ended that day playing Jason McKenzie from XPZ, who was running a Skitarii Veterans-centric ad mech list, where no matter how well I deployed, him going first shot off nearly 900 or so points of my army in turn 1. It was just insane, and I'm not entirely sure if there was anything else I could have done to prevent from that, just considering the mission map, the secondaries that I ended up taking, and just the back foot that he so diligently enforced on me that quickly. Well played, sir. Well played. 30-97 point defeat for me, which further put my event score in danger. So what did I play going into day 2? Harlequins again. Rip. This time it was against Steven Corrales, also from Team XPZ, running Twilight Harlequins. It was a good thing I got my mirror match practice in yesterday, right? Another skull-crushing match from a highly skilled opponent where I clocked out again, but ended up winning it 84-77 using every single brain cell I had remaining, to the point where the words weren't coming out of my mouth properly at the end. Steven, if you're watching this, I know I apologized like 25 times already, but one last time, friend, I'm sorry. My brain shut off and I just went straight brain dead in the end. So I wasn't understanding what you were saying. But seriously though, one of the best, if not most wholesome and fun tournament opponents I've ever had to encounter to this day. So if you happen to see Steven wearing that XPZ shirt at an event, give the man a high five. All right, last game was against Tyranids. So at this point, I was 3-1. Big scary Kraken monster list with a whole bunch of 4-up invul saves. I really didn't think I had this one, but the Harlequins proved that they always have tricks up their sleeves with mobility and fighting, which ended up giving me a 89-63 point win. Also came right down to the wire, but still not a super high score. So not too shabby overall if I say so myself. Going 4-1 was what I was hoping to accomplish, but honestly expected the opposite considering my lack of practice and being new to 9th edition Harlequins. But the army itself proved very strong with a ton of flexibility, and I guess I knew just enough about the army to be dangerous, but not dangerous enough to score high. But where my lack of Harlequins experience was most visible was in that. My opinion, of course, was in the battle points perspective scoring. After game 3, I continued to be the lowest scoring of the highest wins, which really just means I struggled with piloting and choosing secondaries far more than I normally would with an army that I was even semi-fluent with. Placing 8th overall was really awesome, and definitely proud of that, no matter what could have been with my battle point scores, but damn, like, look at the difference in scores right there. But most importantly, I was so grateful to have been paired all 5 of my games into lovely, enjoyable players which, when that happens, it's amazing. Josh won an incredible Nevada Community Award for being an advocate for the local community, which was an absolute testament to the amount of work that he himself puts into running our local leagues, welcoming new players, seemingly keeping the entire state up to date on which events are happening, and so much more, just all from the kindness of his own heart. Seriously though, I'm pretty sure he's legitimately friends with everyone he comes into contact with, so good job, Josh. Let's see how the rest of the team did, starting with Director Leo, who also ended up going 4-1, but scored like a boss, placing him at a well-earned third place event finish.
Hey everyone, it's me, Leo. Just came back from the Rage GT last weekend. Sorry the format's a little weird here, but ended up not ever getting an interview with Jake while we were there, so now you have to deal with this coming from inside my house, when now you can see my pile of shame there in the background. But it was a fantastic weekend, had a lot of fun, had 5 great games, did way better than I ever anticipated, going 4-1 and actually finishing third place. So huge shout out to the Nut crew for handing out these really awesome awards. This was a really nice surprise. This is some of the best award support that I've seen at events. So again, guys, thank you very much. So as for my games, my round 1 was against another fellow Chaos Knight player. So there's only 4 of us there, so it was a little sad that we had to play against each other round 1, and one of us was going to end up not being in contention for the win at the end of it, but that's how random pairings go in the beginning of an event. My round 2 opponent was Mr. Chris Wallace, who ended up taking second place in the entire event and handing me my only loss at the event. So good job on him. He's come a long way with his Tyranids, and he did really well, so I'm super proud of him this weekend. Round 3, I ended up playing against a really nice Tau opponent. I was super scared because he had the railguns on the hammerheads, plasma on all the crisis suits. So there was a lot there that could have dealt with the Knights. But being a dice game, just didn't go his way and ended up pulling out the win there. Day 2 and round 4 ended up playing against another pretty scary matchup for Knights with very Melta-heavy Salamanders, and another situation of the dice being a little bit more favorable to me than my opponent. Ended up winning that one. And round 5, I was actually very, very confused or not really understanding the best way to go about playing against my Drukhari opponent. Very nice guy, but had to lean on Tracksuit Tim for some knowledge there, and he told me the best avenue to go down to pick apart the army, and it was a lot of work chewing through all the racks that he brought, but ultimately it was the right choice in the game. So 5 great opponents, 5 great games. It was very, very nice meeting everyone and had a blast playing all of you, so hope I was good as well. Army-wise, getting much more comfortable with Chaos Knights, especially after playing them at BAO and then coming into this. Not many practice games in between to test stuff out, but overall I was very happy with how my list performed. Pretty much the only thing I could think of changing is maybe swapping out the Psychic Power on the Psychic War Dog that I had. Instead of doing Vortex Terrors, maybe something else, anything else, not too sure. And other than that, taking out the one Melta Stalker that I had and just giving him the Chain Cannon. The 2 random Melta shots throughout the game didn't really help, so might as well take the consistency of all of the shots that the Chain Cannon puts out. But other than that, very happy with the event, very happy with my performance and list, and again, massive shout out to the Nut crew who hosted the event, and I cannot recommend this event highly enough to anyone that's in the Southwest. Check out the Rage GT, and see you guys out there at the next event.
All right, so Rage for me. I only went 3-2. I was expecting to go 4-1, but I had 2 really difficult matchups that I lost. Round 1, I had Jason McKenzie, who's a very, very good player from SoCal. He's playing AdMech of all things, and the Halo Doom list I was playing really struggles against flyers, and we were on Scouring. I got a lot of practice in on Scouring before the event, but the flyers just kind of screwed me up, and I had the morning rust, so I just made a lot of really dumb plays. I made a big mistake on my turn 1 by not doubling up on my home objective with with Guardians and Rangers. The Flyers did not knock me off onto a 4-point primary, but I just couldn't really trade effectively into the AdMech, and by the end of the game, he had untouched units that were able to finish me off. Round 2, I had a newer Chaos player. It was a fantastic game, but the book was really showing its age, and he took some secondaries that the old Halo Doom list, I could literally just sit on my side of the board and score 100 points, which is what I did. Round 3 was a phenomenal game against an XBZ guy playing Chaos Knights on one of the hardest missions for me. It's the one where there's the 3 objectives in the middle. There's no forward deploy, and there's and whoever goes second, gets a 20-point swing. I went second, which was amazing, through all my terrain in my own deployment zone, and halfway through the game, I just told myself I'm only gonna get 20 to 27 primary points, but I have to just play for turn 5 and try to win on turn 5. So that's what I did. I failed a bunch of dread tests. I lost my OBSEC. I was only held to a 27-point primary, but on the bottom of turn 5, I super clutched it, was able to murder 2 knights and teleport onto his home objective with my Hawks, and get 8 points on primary and get the 12 points, or the 5 points for holding the middle, the 2 points for killing something in the middle, and I won it by I think it was a 2-point win. So that was hey, meow, why are you meowing at me? So then the next morning I played one of the best Tau players around, Paul McKelvey. He top 8'd at the last event he was at with Tau, and he went through 2 Eldar players to do it. So it was a fantastic game, 3-hour-long chess match. He made me trade units to screen that I didn't want to screen. He put half his army in Deep Strike, and then he did Mon Ka and put almost the rest of his army in Deep Strike. So I really needed to play highly conservatively and screen him out. But his trash units just kept playing the mission really well. When all was said and done, I only had 2 minutes left on my clock, so I skipped my turn 4, and then turn 5, I just, I did a pretty cool play to score me, like 18 points on that turn, but I lost by 2. So that was pretty heartbreaking. And then the final round, I played a Imperial hand, or Iron Hands Dreadnought spam. Iron Hands Dreadnought spam does not really do well into Halo of Doom Eldar. So same thing, I set up the terrain really, really well. I can score 100 points sitting in my own deployment zone. So as he came at me, I killed everything. Really planned out when I would get my stranglehold, where I'd put my units, and just I was able to score. I only scored 85 points on that because he denied me all of my psychic secondary with the 4-up. I figured I could do it 5 turns, and he only denied 2 or 3, but he denied all 5, which was pretty funny. So that cost me 11th place, but yeah, really, really fantastic events. Trainer and the Reno crew run one of the best GTs around. Definitely recommend if you're in the area to go to it next year.
I'm also sure you're interested to see what the winner of the entire event, Dan Olivas, had to say as well. So here's a short interview I got to do with him alongside the tournament organizers themselves.
Guys took care of you.
You did. Hey, congrats so much, man.
Solidarity.
I know he was definitely the best Harlequin player here, and the better Harlequin player.
Twilight Ascendant, dude.
Yeah. So this is the last weekend we get to play with kind of
Current setup, yep.
Right? How did it feel? Like, what do you think? Are
It was
you gonna
good.
keep
So
going?
I added the extra relic just for the one time, because we can right now.
Yep.
So obviously all the lists will be changing. I'll stick with Twilight, but you have to do things differently.
Yeah, a little bit differently.
Well, the war trait's a must take now. You got to take the roll 4 for the CP since you can't count on luck dice at all.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think you'll see that. But I think I proved that it plays into just about everything. I actually didn't play any of the easy matchups.
Yeah.
So I played into everything. I played into Leviathan. I played into Admech, Thousand Suns.
Which one do you think gave you the hardest time? out of all 5 games?
Ironically, the only game that even pushed me to turn 3 was the Custodes player.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he pushed me because he was like caught me a little off guard because how aggressive he was.
Yeah.
So he actually played to win in the only way he probably could have won.
Yo, he had the really fast Terminator
And
dudes.
and the big bikes. No Terminators, all bikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 4-foot Terminators.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And all my other games were pretty much decided turn 2, which is what the gate does. So, the gate is undervalued by a lot of people, I think. So it kicked ass. It controlled. The missions we played were good, other than mission 21. So the gate did its job, which is to control a table quarter without risking any bodies, which is what it is.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
Well, yeah, very much congrats on your win. Amazing player, as everybody kind of knows. What's the next big event everybody's going to see you at?
So next one for us will be ATC.
ATC?
Yeah.
Nice.
So Smite Club will have just one team there this year, but it'll be fun.
Perfect.
ATC is a blast.
Yep.
If you've never been to ATC, I suggest you put a team together and go. It's the funnest event I've ever been to.
Awesome. And you had some events too that you wanted to, or that I think Spike Club is putting together?
Yeah, so we have Smite Club GT in September. That's going to be a blast. You can come out to that. You really should. End of September.
Before, after,
I think
it's either one way or another, right? After
yeah.
LVTT,
Yeah,
like the team's
I should
tournament,
know
or
this.
before, yeah.
But yeah, Smite Club GT, it's going to be a fun event.
We'll put the link right here.
In Mesa. And then if you're in Arizona, come to Old World Games on a Friday night. All of us do teaching games, and we want people in the hobby, so we'll be helpful. And if you're ever in Arizona, come up to Old World and we'll help you out.
Amazing.
Or if you're looking for good games, there's good players up there too.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, you guys are all cool. Pretty much everyone I haven't interacted with at Spike Club, so yeah, I love it, man. Again, congrats.
Thank you so much.
And see you at the next event. Guys, Trainer, Fork, you guys ran an amazing event. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, we had a blast. So how did it go from your guys' perspective?
I'd say it was a good event. I mean, hardly had any issues. Got a little contentious at the end, but I mean, it's 5th round of
Round
the
five,
yeah, so it's going to happen. You just got to be ready for it.
Except for me, I owe you definitely dinner because you hooked me up with glue, a clock. Wait, did you get the clock?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect. Trainer even got me a glass of water. He's a G, man.
I just did it.
Yeah.
I know, you look thirsty, man.
Yeah.
You finished your water, and I was like, I better get this guy.
Yeah, you got to hit the homie
Yeah,
with the hydrate.
so it really helps having experienced players.
Yeah.
So, if you have experienced players, that's
Definitely, and I think
the
that.
tournament runs itself if you have experienced
Yeah,
players. So.
I feel like it really showed too, just you individuals running this, actually running this event. It's it very much felt like everything was smooth sailing. Just basically don't
when
be
players
stupid.
run events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's players for players. So we've gone to events before, and we know what a good event looks like, and what we would want our event to be like, and what would I want as a player at an event, and I try to. That's my philosophy. It's whatever benefits the player is what I want to do. So.
Absolutely, and it definitely showed the prize support thing was fantastic. Everybody got something.
Yeah, well, no, I just gotta say too, to all the sponsors that helped out with this event, it was just amazing. We got so much free stuff, so much stuff at a discount. We couldn't have that prize support without the help of all the sponsors.
Alric's Hobbies, Miniature Market, Bob Smith Industries,
Game Castle's big one.
Castle Reno was a big part.
Yeah, and also Game Castle Reno.
RageCon itself, has given us so much. When we got here on Thursday, all the tables were already set up for us. So
nice.
And now they're going to take down these tables for us. So all we have to do is worry about our terrain. So, and the convention's really cool too.
Yep.
So, and we're hoping that our event will grow next year to maybe 60 players. So.
Yeah, make that 64 for the 6th rounder.
Hell yeah.
Last year we had 30 some players, and this year we have 40 something. So.
Yeah, so we just got to keep on growing out.
Yep.
Just make sure that we have a good enough, or throw a good enough event where the players who come here this year keep coming back next year.
Right.
And get more and more.
A lot of players that came last year came this year.
Yeah.
So just the word of mouth. I don't know. Just I guess we have a good reputation.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, because you guys are great guys and you run a great event. The Vegas Brethren are always going to support and come up north because, vice versa and stuff. But no, it's absolutely incredible. Congrats to running such a fantastic event.
Thank you.
And keep us posted for the next one.
Oh, of course.
We'll see Trainer because he wants to come fight the Death Guard in
My
May?
sisters.
Or no, it's already May. It's past May.
It's next month.
Next month.
Early
July.
July.
I will play the Death Guard.
Yeah.
With my sisters.
Yeah.
He's going to bring the sisters. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time, and we'll catch you guys next time.
More fist bumps.
Boom! Try fist bump.
Try fist.
Boom! Overall, guys, we had such a good time in the company of great people, not only just rolling dice, but whining, dining, and bonding as a team. 10 out of 10, we'll do it again. And I really can't praise both Trainer and Fork enough from Nevada Ultimate Tabletop for running such a solid event. So here's one last thank you to you fine gents from me. You guys will be seeing Trainer 2 on this channel, who publicly challenged my Death Guard to go up against his sisters when he comes down to the studio next month. Well, that's it for today, folks. If you found this video to be helpful or informative by any measure and would like to see more content like this, please stay subscribed, share the video with a friend, and join in on the conversation below or in our private Discord channel where I have the link posted in the description below. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.